Hello, everyone. Wanted to step jump on your screen today on this lovely Tuesday to share a little bit more about my memoir and also to read an excerpt of
Hello, everyone.
newly
Wanted to
released
step jump on your
newly released memoir called Step Jump: Transforming Trauma to Triumph from the 46th floor. I want to start by just sharing. I remember a time when I was paralyzed by fear, by anxiety of not knowing if we were at war, and my whole some if you're old enough may remember September 11th, and some people were really young at the time as well. So even though there was that one day at the time, that day everyone didn't know where else we would be attacked across the country. And even the days afterwards, their communication was almost completely stopped, and no one was flying. And I had this anxiety of, are we at war? And especially being a survivor of someone who was able to escape Tower 1 from the 46th floor, it just took over me. Earlier in my book, in earlier chapters, I really share what happened in the tower, right? So you as a reader could understand what was happening inside. This today, I wanted to share what was happening inside of me after. And I share this because I know there's a lot of people that unfortunately are in these environments where you are a survivor of a war, of violence, of a mass shooting, of being in a space where it's an undeclared war, but it is a war zone, and it mostly happens in impoverished neighborhoods, but also around the world as well. And so I'm hoping that people can listen to this, to listen to understand, and not simply respond. So I'll be reading from page 131 from my book. And this is chapter 9, Home Unbound. So someone was asking me, what happened? How did you get out? What did you see? How are you doing? Just calling to tell you we love you and have been praying for you. I couldn't answer. I'd quickly become overrun with flashes of memories that brought me right back into the fear and fire. I let people know I was okay, but didn't share more. It was as much for me as it was for them. The horror wasn't easy to hold. The rest of the day was a blur, but I eventually slept, opening my tired eyes, unsure of where I was or the time. I stretched tentatively, reaching out my limbs one by one. I felt the familiar stir of my soft Egyptian cotton sheets, a deep burgundy, the color of ripe pomegranate seeds, which were usually a comfort, but were now damp with the twists and turns of nightmares. The sun cracked through the drawn curtains, a single ray cast down, and I reached my hand up to touch it. I could feel its warmth, the way it seared through the darkness and the chill of the morning. I let my hand dance with the beam, my fingers rosy, with short white nails stretching and uncurling as the light played with each knuckle and skittered across my skin. I stared, captivated at the deep red lines of each finger, the etches in my palm, the flow of my blood. Were these really my hands? Had they grasped the ashy railings in the stairwell? When was the last time they had touched someone else's skin? Would my blood and body ever feel as alive as it had in the church the day before? My hand sliced through the single stream of sun, and I breathed in the air all around me. It was soft and clear. It smelled like home. I was overwhelmed both with gravity and with gratitude. My first thought was, I am alive. And my second, so many are not. I fell on my hands and knees, bowing down on my elbows and forearms, and thank God for saving me. So humbled, so crushed, as tears fell, knowing that even in that moment, in that despair, that I was blessed to be in despair, that I was blessed to be able to pray, to cry for those who weren't so lucky. Survivor's guilt is two words that take so much to share and to try to explain, especially for those who haven't survived, I'd say, a collective traumatic event. But I will say that for many right now, I know you are probably feeling that way if someone you knew, if a family member has passed from this epidemic, or from going to a party and unfortunately there being a shooting, or from experiencing widespread violence in your country. And of course, our veterans who have survived war. And my memoir has many different incidences of transforming trauma to triumph. And a lot of it comes from being able to simply share your story. It's very difficult to share something where you were completely unsafe, where you had no control, and so much of the resiliency that is on display comes from just surviving. And so I want to share my story with the world because we are entering, I'd say, a phase where there will be more and more people experiencing trauma. And there's so many types of trauma, right? But us that are able to be in peaceful places and have a peaceful life experience will also need to be more trauma informed and hold space and compassion and find ways to understand those who are still going through it or who have overcome it, but then have like another life transforming moment and it just compounds, right? And how you can support that, how you can support that person and really just hold space for them. Yeah. So I wanted to share that because that is really why I'm here, why I did write my memoir after 20 years, is because this book, Step, Step, Jump, it may be enough for you, right? But if you need something more, if you need someone in your life who you can share and be vulnerable with and in a safe space, if you are needing that, after your therapy sessions, after the initial, I'd say, phase of healing, right? That first step, and other things come up in your relationships, at work, even as we think about going back into public spaces and going back to work, you might be experiencing a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear. And I'm here. If you need to talk with someone, if you feel called to work with me, I invite you to contact me, send me a message. I'd love to schedule a session with you and help you on your journey. There's no such thing as healed, but we can evolve and we can grow. And I'd love to guide you and help you on your journey, on your healing journey. Because as we heal, we all contribute to our collective wellness. And so it may not have been our choice, the situations life has given us, but it is our responsibility to do more and not allow our story to forever have us trapped, but for us to stand on it and take new action, right? And so I invite you to step, step, jump with me, to do something completely new and out of your comfort zone. And a lot of that will have to do with investing in yourself and making yourself and making your self-care and your wellness a priority. I wish you all the best today. And I can't wait to see you guys soon. All right. You take care. Bye.